keeping an eye on the bay. And I haven't checked the maps recently, but storm surge had been a concern for a good part of Miami-Dade. Omar?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That storm surge is happening right now. We're actually right on the Biscayne Bay, and we've been seeing the water lap onto the land constantly. And look at these winds. Look at this situation you have right here on this roofing. That thing could fly off at any moment now. These are the projectiles that we've been telling people about out here all morning. We are luckily in the parking deck. The wind right now is going from the east to the west, and so we're blocked by all that wind, thankfully, because of this concrete parking deck. But take a look at the trees that are down here in this neighborhood, Midtown Miami. You see how powerful these winds really are. This gate, this fence knocked down. There's a fence along this area here, and it is knocked down. The trees split in half down there. More trees down the road right now, split. And then what happens is the wind is so strong that it picks this stuff up, and then of course takes it along with it. And then we're going to show you also another concern out here in Midtown are these cranes that we've been telling you about for the last several days. You see how they are dealing with this wind this morning. They are loose right now. They did leave them loose so that they could swing to kind of help out, and that is what they're supposed to do. But the city of Miami, we all remember telling everyone that 20 to 25 cranes are in this city, and so you want to get away from them, of course, because anything could happen at this point. And so we are seeing the wind gusts really picking things up, taking things along with it. Again, I believe this roofing will be ripped away in any moment. And we've seen just branches flying down the road at one point. And it is a nasty, nasty situation here in Midtown and on the bay, closer to the water. The flooding will also be another concern as that water just makes its way right from the water onto the land and floods these streets here. But these palm trees just bending, projectile objects just flying down the road, and the wind's so loud, guys, that I'm actually losing my voice. So trying to talk over all of this stuff, but very dangerous situation out here, but we'll send it back to you guys for now.
We'll give you a chance to rest your voice, Omar, but don't go too far. We'll want to check back with you in a few minutes. Omar Lewis in Miami's Midtown section.
We talk about it all the time. We're talking about it now with Phil, everyone. We're out of the cone, we're out of the cone, we're out of the cone, and look where we are, huh, Phil?
You are correct. That's why we should never really focus so much there. Are we in? Are we out? Because this is a great example how we can be hundreds of miles removed from the cone of concern, and yet we are getting some very strong impact. But remember, the cone just tracks where the eye is going to be, and the eye is a very small part of a system that can be hundreds of miles around. All right, so the system right now just about to make landfall across the lower Florida Keys. We've heard it from the local weather office down in Key West. This is going to be potentially catastrophic. If you can still hear us online or on radio, please make sure if you're down in the Keys, go to a room that's at least on the second floor, small room, a bathroom. Make sure you put that mattress or some pillows over you. It is going to be a tough haul here over the next at least half an hour. And then, by the way, the danger is going to be the eye goes over, everything calms down. Some folks are going to want to go out and review the damaged dome. There are going to be power lines that are down. There's going to be a lot of debris with jagged edges, and you don't know how long that calm is going to be, because then the storm hits you from the backside with winds just as strong and the surge coming in from the opposite direction. And for us, across Miami-Dade, Broward counties, rain and wind with the potential for tornadic activity. We've already seen some tornado warnings across South Florida this morning. This is a huge beast, and I'm going to say that again. This is a huge beast of a storm. There's the center already making landfall across the lower Florida Keys, but it extends out for hundreds of miles. The cloud cover goes through central Florida, out west into the Gulf of Mexico, impacting central Cuba. The winds and the clouds come out of eastern Cuba, impacting the Bahamas, and then back across central Florida. So it is, again, a great example of how winds and rain can impact folks well away from the center and from the cone of concern. 8 a.m. advisory still with 130-mile-per-hour winds. That is a Category 4. If you're plotting at home, 24.5, 81.5, moving north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. And down the road, if it does stay in that track, hopefully, and I say hopefully, it'll avoid a lot of the West Coast here. I know that they would not have the prep time that we had, especially across Naples, Fort Myers, and down the road, a major metropolitan area like St. Petersburg and Tampa. So hopefully this might just stay offshore, give them a little better time to prep. The actual center, about 20 miles east-southeast of Key West, will be moving over rather shortly. On the radar, that eye wall still pretty huge, pretty intense, impacting everyone from Marathon all the way down into Key West. The surge up and down the island chain, according to the director down there, I should say the forecaster down there in the local weather office in Key West. By the way, they are in a great building. I've been there. It's wonderful. They are safe. It was built to withstand a Category 5 strike. And there's the radar. That's the exact dome of the radar. It is detecting that the outer eye wall right now is getting ready to push into the Gulf of Mexico. Key West, you're going to get hit within a few minutes there with the strongest of the heavy rain and the gusty winds. Cudjoe Key, oh my goodness, you're getting hit really hard. Doctor's Arm, I'm sure the wind gusts here, the wind speeds are up to 115, 120, 135 mile per hour plus. US 1 continuing up here through the torches of these keys here getting hammered. And when I say hammered, the wind is coming out of the southeast at around 100, 150, 120 miles per hour, blinding sheets of rain. The water is coming onshore as well. Across US 1, going into the 7 Mile Bridge. If you were actually there driving across the 7 Mile Bridge, if you could, that rain is just coming in horizontally. The waves are splashing right over the bridge. The water from the Atlantic is going over into the Gulf of Mexico. Marathon, Duck Key, the rest of the keys here, Layton, the storm surge is moving in from the Atlantic. Isla Morada, heavy rainfall, same with Tavernier, blinding sheets of rain. The Key Largo, you have had wind gusts all the way up to 70, 75, even 80 miles per hour. Deep southern Miami-Dade, you are also seeing this incredible sheet of rain. This is no longer feeder bands. This is actually part of the actual inner structure of the Hurricane Cutler Bay, Homestead, Naranja, the Redland area. You are looking at a lot of heavy rainfall, gusty winds, and areas like Naranja and the Redland, you may see some flooding there because of all the heavy rainfall. Be on the lookout for that. Downtown Miami, heavy rain, Coral Gables, Kendall Lakes, West Kendall, Sweetwater. The beaches here, Key Biscayne is going to get a little bit of a break momentarily, but the wind and the rain will pick right back up. The beaches, North Miami Beach, all the way inland across Biscayne Bay, 441, Hialeah, North Miami, Little River, Atlantic Heights here, Sunrise Surfside, North Miami Beach, I-95 is just incredible. This is just a wall of water moving through the air, if you will, all across the region. Well, the storm system dumping a lot of moisture here across the area, and this is going to remain like this at least until the system, the actual eye, has moved past Fort Myers. We will stay with the heavy rainfall, the gusty winds, and the potential for tornadoes at least until noonish. And I wouldn't be surprised if they extend that tornado watch all the way through tonight. The atmosphere right now is in a ruckus. It has been shaken. It has been disturbed, and it's kind of angry, and that is giving us a lot of severe weather all across Miami-Dade and Broward counties.